Hi, everybody. It's your friendly real estate agent, Melissa Hunter, and I'm here to give you your monthly market update. Now, you know I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have the stats from July. And the stats from July is designed to help us set the stage for the months to come. Now, we've seen a lot of changes in the market within the last couple months, so we're going to take this as a grain of salt because we know that we're going to see some changes in the months of August and September. But July's stats will set the stage for these future months, and it'll help us to understand what the market is doing, especially just county wide. It's always good to know what your county is doing. Now, I'm only going to take 5 minutes of your time. I'm also going to look at our sister counties, Santa Barbara and Los Angeles counties as well. Let's get started. Now, median price means middle price. Middle price for Ventura County right now is $920,000. We're down by 0.8%, which is not much, and not down at all since a year ago. So what that's telling us is that we're pretty steady at about 920,000 for our middle mark. Now, home sales is down by 7.9% since the month of July, and down by 30.7% for year to date. Now, I can tell you that there's a lot of things that contribute to that, and you know that. So, 7.9% isn't much since the month of June, meaning that people are still purchasing out there and people are still selling their properties. Now, unsold inventory, the longest standing amount of time in the county of Ventura right now is about 2.3 months, meaning that there's some unsold inventory out there that's been sitting around for a little over 2 months. Now, there's a contribution to that. Price, interest rate, condition, location. There's a lot of things that go into unsold inventory. So we take this with a grain of salt, but what this number gives us is an idea of whether we are in a seller or a buyer's market. Now, 2.3 months is still a seller's market. We're still there. But as we move up into those months and we see properties still on the market after 4, 5, and 6 months, then we can comfortably say that we're in a buyer's market. We're just not there yet. Median time on the market, 25 days. So we're still under 30 days, which tells us that the sellers are still getting what they want for their property and moving on and buying. So that's all good news. So let's jump over to Santa Barbara and Los Angeles County. Now, Santa Barbara County isn't too far from us. Their single family detached home median price is it's under $1 million, $994,470 to be exact. That's 16.9% difference from the month of June. And home sales, their numbers are single digits, really. Year to yield 2.7% in the plus, and 7.3% down from the month of June. So, their market's a little different because they don't have as much inventory. So we see their numbers getting a little bit more aggressive. And then, months on the market, it's about the same as ours, 2.7 months. That's up by 17.4 months from the previous month and down by 27 months a year ago. And then it's only taking 10 days to sell a house in Santa Barbara. 10 whole days, which is telling me that the sellers are still getting what they want for their property and moving on. Now let's take a look at Los Angeles. Now, believe it or not, Los Angeles is up by 2.3% for their median home price. That means that sellers in Los Angeles County are getting more than what they're asking for their property. And there's the plus number for a year to yield too of 0.6%. So they're coming in at $851,540. Now, home sales is down for them by 23.7% from the previous month, and year to date 27.9%. So, they are experiencing less inventory. And then unsold inventory, they're sitting around, at the most 2.5 months as well. Still keeping us in that seller's market though, because people are still purchasing above their asking price. So they're not experiencing a buyer's market just yet, but we will see what our crystal ball tells us in the future months to come. Now, median time on market is 17 days, and you see these zeros here, they're pretty steady with that. So still median home time on the market is less than 30 days. Now, what does this mean to the buyer? The buyer, Well, what it means to you is that you still have to be pretty fair with the seller in order for the seller to sell their house. I don't experience a whole lot of sellers that are in disparity to sell a property. They're looking for a price or looking for some accommodations, and they can wait for it. There's enough buyers out there to wait. So buyers, be cautious about how you look at property value and how you look at going in on purchasing a property. Now, if you'd like to talk more about creating creative financing options that you can get from a seller right now, I'd love to do that because those are existing and those are becoming more prominent in the market. Now, sellers, what does this mean for you? Well, this means that it's still a really good time to sell. Even though we have an interest rate hike, there are ways for us to combat that interest rate, and sellers are still getting what they need in order to move forward. So, both of you guys are in a good place right now. I look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions. And please make comments on this YouTube podcast because I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about this report and how you feel about the market. So I'll talk to you soon. Please make sure to subscribe as well.